Because even jeans, remember, it's like that was workwear.
Bro, my mom was 60 something when she bought her first pair of jeans.
That's dope.
And she was gonna use it to work on the house.
Because back then it's like you're a rebel if you have a jeans and like leather jacket.
Yeah, if you're wearing it not to work, you're a rebel.
She was just so proud of it. She goes, "Look, mom has jeans now." I'm like, "So?" She goes, "Yeah, but I'm kind of living on the edge."
It's like her getting a tattoo.
Welcome back to another episode of Careful Boys. Today we're going to examine something that you brought up actually, and I thought about it, and then I started seeing videos about it everywhere. But why is it that society as a whole doesn't dress nice anymore?
Oh, that's so true.
There's a lot of different answers to this, but like it's a pretty, like when you look back in time, right? And you look at like a photo of like a crowd on the street and everybody's dressed like really well. You got like guys in like vest, suit, coat, hat. All the women are like in really proper attire, dresses and everything. You wouldn't see the equivalent of like a guy in like a wife beater and shorts like anywhere in old photos really like that. And then I think it'd been said that some people's argument was that, oh, that's because back in the day, photos were so rare that when people knew their picture could be taken, they had to dress nice.
Bullshit, because they took a picture of an entire city, dude.
Yeah.
Hey, you could see this on YouTube where I thought it was like a set because it looked so perfect, but it was just everyday life. Like there's just footage of like 1950s Los Angeles or like 1930s New York or whatever, right? And then people would just roll their camera and then they'll just be like in a car, like rolling down the street. And you see people walking down and everyone's looking at the camera because they're curious about it, but they're all in suits. There's no trash on the floor. And I was like, dude, this reminds me of like Japan.
I've witnessed it. So my grandpa was like from that era. And my grandpa, when he went to go work out, he wore like a polo shirt and like khaki shorts tucked in. That's considered like sportswear.
What a dork.
Yeah.
You should beat him up, dude.
Like that's considered like sportswear, right? And like t-shirt shaped cuts, that's like if he was gonna like pull weeds out of the garden. Like that was work clothes. And anytime he left the house, it was dress shirt and slacks. That's what he always looked like. And yeah, because like, Lacoste is technically like tennis clothes, right? Like the polo shirt, whatever. But now it's like people wear Lacoste to dress up. And it's crazy how like everyone like dressed.
Even like one of the things that were people are pointing out is like, look at the photos of your parents arriving from the airport and they, like
They're in suits.
photos, full suit, like,
True.
and then even candid photos like from back then, like random ass candids, like there's always like a nice like pose with the nice like clothes. And one of my favorite authors, his name is Jason Pargin, he had a whole like piece about this, and he came to the conclusion that as the more society leaned towards not shaming each other and treating everybody equally with respect, regardless of whether or not they deserve it, you no longer have the stigma of people wanting to dress nice out of the fear of being shamed. And then his point is that back then, people cared so much about how they were talked about
Or judged or whatever. Yeah.
that became a norm in society to like be presentable at all times.
Or
Does
your
he-
best.
Otherwise, you get treated worse.
Does he view it as a good evolution or as a bad evolution, or it's just kind of matter of fact? That's just what happened.
I think that's up to the individual communities. But then his point made a lot of sense because it was like we don't shame each other for anything anymore, really. At least not openly. But back then, like he was saying that if you showed up to a place and you weren't dressed properly, you didn't get the same treatment as everybody. You got talked down on, and people would talk about you later as like being someone uncouth or like beneath the standard.
I remember there were dress codes. Like growing up, if you didn't have shoes on or if you didn't have like a collared shirt or like certain places, you couldn't go inside the restaurant. The clubs were like that. Like it's not like that anymore. But I remember like we all grew up with dress code enforced. And it wasn't, I mean, the clubs were the gang reason, right? But outside of that, they're like, oh, you're not dressed for the part. You can't come in. Now you could come in like this with hoodies. It doesn't matter. Because I think fashion changed.
No shirt, no shoes, no service. That was like a thing.
Yeah.
But even if you're not dressed well, so like you could have a shirt on and everything, but if you're not wearing a suit or something, Like I remember my dad had nothing but suits, and I begged him to wear like a t-shirt. And then this motherfucker came with a Grand Canyon tourist t-shirt tucked into his slacks. He still had shiny ass suit shoes. And he had a hat that looked like, like Niagara Falls or some shit. Like, cause all of his shit was tourist like wear.
You begging your dad to not wear a suit's really funny.
And I was like, man, you doing it wrong, dude. Cause when you see all your friends like dressed like skaters and then their parents come in looking like, they look like people on TV, like modern. Like their moms had like the big oversized t-shirts with the fucking biker shorts. Yeah. And they look cool, right? Mm-hmm. Their dads look like they were like Kid and Play or like big flat tops with the fucking thing. And I was like, man, how come my parents don't look hip hop?
Dad, get a flat top.
Dude, I would have loved it if my dad had a flat top and like.
Get some waves, Dad.
God.
Because they looked way older than their age.
Yeah. That makes sense.
But I think that was like my thing. I thought everyone else was lame that dressed like that growing up. And then I was like, I can't wait till like there's no more dress codes.
But remember like the norms of like when you watch old movies or old shows or like Peaky Blinders or anything like that. Remember the strict norm of having a hat as a man?
Right.
Isn't that interesting?
Like the minute you step outside, you're supposed to put a hat on.
Right.
And then like when you go indoors, you go like, or when you greet women.
Greet women, yeah.
So I just think America in general went really downhill because they used to have the same rules. Where like Japan kept it, Europe kept it, because Hannah was like, Americans dress so fucking shitty, but the shame of it isn't here, so she gets to relax more.
That's true. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Like, I'm dressing like I would have never went out like this.
Yeah.
But she was like, out in England, like her own friend would be like, you're not fucking going to the market looking like that.
Yeah. I feel like that's the same. Me and Smack noticed that Vegas is like that too, where like, you could go to a nice restaurant in shorts and a shirt here. Whereas in LA, they would be like, sir, what are you trying to
I think that came from the hotel culture.
Exactly. Yeah.
Before, I remember getting turned away from steakhouses from like wearing a tank top. Like you have to have a jacket or a blazer. Yeah. And then I think they started realizing, wait, if people are just going to go to the pool and straight to the buffet or whatever, so it became super lax. And then now I think the rest of the city adopts it.
And it's like weather-wise too. It's like if it's blazing hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, imagine wearing a big old 3-piece
and then
suit.
the other, I think, movement that probably made it worse, I think, is the whole like fitness athleisure. Because before, you would change to go work out, and then you would get out of your workout clothes. But then now workout clothes are so comfortable, like Lululemon, whatever, Aloe, like all those brands. People just wear them to be now. Like people, like girls wear yoga pants just to be. Just for life. And then so I think that has a huge, like people wear basketball shorts just not to play basketball, but just to be like.
That's true.
It's like everyone is just wearing workout clothes. So that makes it even worse too.
Do you think there's any chance of like, well, because like, when you reference Japan or something like that, it almost seems like stuff like this is only achievable in places where it's like monoracial. Where it's like, like, because Japan's been so good at like keeping their culture alive because they're so Japanese. Yeah. Whereas if you had a place with tons of diversity, how do you get everyone on the same page anyway?
I think Europe is still like this because like they don't wear athleisure like us on a regular. Like it's still weird. Like, hey, are you going to the gym? But you don't see it like how Americans, like you could tell like the guys at the airport that are Americans, like we're all wearing like athleisure 24/7. And for them, if they're not athletic or they're not like a chav or like a guy, like a Russian gangster, they're not wearing a tracksuit, that's like, it's like, what are you doing? Like they have slacks on, they have regular clothes on.
Like adult men, right?
Yeah, I actually think my theory is the more west you go or the more south you go in America, the more uglier your style is. Because like the weather. And then I notice in pedestrian culture, like looking good in fashion is always on point because and then if you have seasons, because then the weather forces you to like, and then you're in public. So you're like, oh, fuck, you're self-conscious, right? But in the West Coast, especially Hawaii, the more west you go, it's like too fucking hot. I don't know how people used to dress in like a suit. Yeah.
Because Because even jeans, remember, it's like that was workwear.
Yeah, that was workwear. Yeah.
If you like teleported back in time and you're like, hey, jeans are gonna be a nice thing. There's jeans that'll cost like $200-$300 or whatever. Yeah. They'll probably blow their brains. They're like, what the hell? That's
Bro, my mom was 60 something when she bought her first pair of jeans. And she thought she was badass.
That's dope.
and she was gonna use it to work on the house.
It was like some joggers with a fucking bow on the fucking ankle.
That's kind of tight.
Cause back then it's like you're a rebel. If you have a jeans and like leather jacket, you're like fucking what is that, grease and shit? Like
Yeah, if you're wearing it not to work, you're a rebel.
yeah.
Smoking cigs.
Women, right?
Yeah.
Like women wearing pants and jeans. So like at 6, she was just so proud of it. She goes, "Look, mom has jeans now." I'm like, "So?" And she goes, "Yeah, but I'm kind of living on the edge."
Yeah, I think you're right.
It's like her getting a tattoo.
Yeah, literally, that's her tat. I was laughing. I was like, "Damn, that's so funny, dude."
Yeah, it is true because in the 40s and 50s, I think you can even see the line when like jeans began to be advertised as like, hey, it's okay now to wear it. It's all right. It's not a low class thing anymore.
But do you think it would ever get to that point where everyone's wearing suits now, or is just we're like, fuck?
I don't think it'll get that way again in America. I don't think so. Not in America, because America runs on the diversity whole thing. Like it before like everyone started doing their own thing in their own like places. But now I think like maybe different communities will have that, or like different I guess different boroughs or different cultures. But then as a whole, we're not.
I also think we value convenience so much.
That's our culture.
Like in the Amazon culture of things, people just want fast, now, easy, efficient. So it's hard to see it going back.
And naturally, everything is counterculture in America. Like everything cycles. So like, let's say that it did for a day become really cool to dress up. The next thing to do is not always like whatever becomes cool. The next thing to do is not that. It's like it's a cycle that never ends.
So like, Hannah has a pretty cool point of view of like how the differences are, because she's like, Americans never wear clothes that fit and they dress like shit, but their hygiene's always on point. She thinks that's how Americans present well.
Oh, hygiene over style.
Well, we have no. Our style's LL Bean, or like we really, compared to Europeans, it's outdated or just ugly. It's like Kirkland clothes, or it's like oversized shit or gaudy. Like it's just bad, right? Never fitted, or like, like we never dress well. But she's like, you guys are clean. So then that's how you present yourself well.
So in the
You're
UK,
groomed, you're cleaned, like you smell fresh. Your clothes smell good, right? So she's like, Europeans, they smell like shit. They don't always shower. They look scruffy. They look dirty, but their fucking outfit is immaculate. And then so I was like, what's the difference? And she goes like, okay, so she's like, working class Europeans, right? Like they dress to the nines, but then big city ones are like, you're trying too hard. So like for them, it's like, you want to look like you're not trying. So you're like, you're classy, but it's because you put no effort into your fashion.
anytime I think of Europeans, though, I just think of tech suits and track suits. That's it.
You're thinking of the chavs and shit?
Well, like the common person, the common European person you would just randomly see.
Sweatsuits for sure.
I feel like they're always in like a two-piece.
They got that figured out. Sweatsuits. That's what I'm gonna start wearing. That's gonna be my fucking version of this.
It just looks like Glendale to me. Yeah.
I still do see a lot of guys wearing suits though, like in UK, which I thought was pretty cool because like the whole aesthetic of everything. I don't really see people in suits anymore in America.
Nah, you'd look like you're being weird.
But in the 90s though, if you went to any downtown,
Yeah.
there's hella people wearing suits.
Yeah. That makes sense, especially if they're like coming from work or something.
Yeah.
I do romanticize about living like that, and I've tried.
Sounds awful.
Wear a suit every day?
Well, not like a suit every day, but you know how there's a suit version of things, right? So like for example, you watch like Ocean's 11. When they're going nighttime, there's the suit version of it. Then there's when they're meeting in the warehouse, roll out the blueprints, roll up the sleeves. They're not in a t-shirt. They're in their suit version of that. Yeah. So George Clooney and Brad Pitt have their blue collar version, and it still looks fresh. It's just, or even when the guy that's sleeping in the bed the whole time, he has a fucking ascot on and like silk pajamas, silk smoke robe. He has a suit version of pajamas, right?
I get what you're saying.
The
Yeah.
whole spectrum. There's a suit version of it, and I'm like, oh man, I want to live that lifestyle. And then I think about just the laundry and the dry cleaning and all that. I'm like,
The dry cleaning.
fuck.
alone.
It definitely is impractical.
Or the ironing you'll have to do.
But I
bro.
would love to be like the linen pants type of guy. Like, oh, you know what? I'm just gonna take a stroll in the park, have some linen pants and a linen dress shirt.
You're gonna need a commercial grade steamer at your house.
Yeah, like I would, and I put on my fedora, you know, and then like I would love to.
Dude, if you wear a fedora around us,
Or-
we're gonna beat your fucking
Or
ass.
I'm like, I just go, or I could just wear a wife beater and walk my dog.
see, that's sick.
That's,
Some cargos.
but I do romanticize, and I think it's fucking cool to be like, it'd be cool if my life was Ocean's 11, like that world, but it's so hard to do.
It's incompatible with modern.
It's not practical. No fucking way, dude.
But I do see people do it though. There
Yeah,
are
they're-
people that live it, and I'm like, man.
Yeah, they're
that's
just ironing all
They're
day.
getting wedgies after they get their underwear's all stretched out from.
Yeah, you know how many pants they fucking rip probably, dude? Get out of here.
Anthony probably lives that lifestyle.
Anthony does live that life.
He looks like he has fresh fucking pajamas.
He's always ironing though.
Fucking
Every time I talk to him,
kid
he's ironing.
pajamas or
looks like an ascot kind of guy.